Hi, Chem class. Today, I just wanted to do a very quick calculator review for you guys. We're going to be going back into doing some more problems that will require you to use scientific notation. And I just want to make sure we review real quick how we're going to enter that into the calculator. So remember, the reason that we do this is to simplify using scientific notation in the calculator. Generally, we want to avoid making mistakes, and those mistakes usually come from incorrect or forgetting to use parentheses or having to do multiple multiplications, which, again, without the use of parentheses correctly, gets all messed up and you end up with the wrong answer. So, if we recall, what we want to use in our calculator is something called the exponential function. And that exponential function, this is the key here, this is the really important thing to remember is that you use the exponential button instead of entering the multiply, the 10, the caret, or the 10 to the x, or anything like that. So it takes the place of that entire operation in one button. And on most calculators, that button will either be labeled EXP or as a capital EE or just a capital E. So I'm going to show you how this is done on 3 common calculators that you might want to use. And we'll see later if you don't have one of these calculators, what you should do. So the first one is to use the calculator that is in Windows 10. So just the calculator app. When you do this, the first thing you're going to want to do is change the calculator from standard to scientific mode. To do that, you click on the menu button, the 3 lines at the top left, and the menu that comes up, you're going to select scientific in that menu. From that point on, your calculator should be in scientific mode until you change it out, which is nice. So then when you get to your actual calculator, you're going to use the EXP button. Again, that takes the place of the times and the 10 and the to the, okay? And it's right here above the 9, 2 buttons above the 9, EXP. So the pro with using your app calculator on your computer is that obviously it's right there and it's easy to access. The cons for using this calculator is that you have to toggle between what's called floating and exponential notation, and that's right up here, the F to E. Every time you start a new calculation in order for you to see your answers in scientific notation. Otherwise, it's going to show you your answers with, a million zeros and decimal places and things like that. So I find that kind of annoying. And personally, this is not the calculator that I would recommend using. But if it's what you have or it's what you're used to, then obviously go ahead and use it. So the second most common type of calculator you probably have at home is a TI-83 or 84, whether it's a plus or a regular or it's blue or green, or it really doesn't matter. The point is here that you are again looking for that same button, that EXP, EE, or E button. And on this calculator, it is a second function. So you'll have to hit the second button and then you'll see it right there is the EE. So it's the comma, but it's the second function of the comma button. And when you use that button, again, it adds the little E in there. And remember, that takes the place of the times and the 10 and the to the, right, or the little caret. So all you need to do after you press that button is enter the exponent that you have. So here we have 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd. Okay, and then I just did a calculation. I multiplied it by 12, and I could see that my answer, if I were going to write my answer, on a worksheet or something, I would write 7.22 times 10 to the 24th. That's the answer that I'm given. So remember, the E takes the place of the times 10 to the. That's the key there. Now, a last option you might have is to use an app on your phone. And I happen to really like this one called Power One Calculator. It's a free app. I do not recommend using the iPhone calculator app for a number of reasons not worth mentioning. I've never used the calculator on an Android phone, so I can't speak to that. But I can tell you that the Power One Calculator app is available for both iPhones and Android phones, and it is free. They offer, premium versions, but you really don't need that at all. So in the Power One Calculator app, the first thing, your main screen that you're going to have here, you're going to have to click on what looks like a little calculator at the bottom of the screen, and that will bring up the main calculator app. It looks like a regular calculator, as you can see. What's nice about this one is that the extra functions scroll along the top bar there. So all you have to do is scroll a little bit to the left and you're going to get the EE. The EE is the very first one that comes up that you can see as soon as you start scrolling. And so again, you use that EE function and you can see in the output where we have 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd with the E, and then the answer given as 7.224 E24, which translates to 7.224 times 10 to the 24th. And this one is nice because it keeps your history. You can go back just like the 83 and 84 does. And it's easy if you make mistakes, you can go back or you can cancel the whole line. So I've used this calculator for a very long time, an older version of it. This is the newest version, and I definitely recommend it. Now, if you are using a calculator that I have not mentioned, or you just want to use something else, whatever you have around, again, what you're looking for there is that button that says EXP or EE or E. And if you're not quite sure, then just ask me, and we'll get up together on Teams, and you can hold up your calculator, and I will find the button you're looking for and make sure you're using it correctly. All right, so again, any other questions or any problems in using the scientific notation, make sure you get lots of practice because we will be using it throughout this entire unit.